the pros and cons of our approach in the acquisition phase were our participant evaluation panel, where we had both a business side or a programmatic side, and then also the technical side. With what we were trying to do, we realized that we were going to be dealing with a variety of companies and a variety of business and technical approaches, and that those were really the two fundamental pieces. We needed to separate and think about things in two capacities. On the programmatic and the business side, we needed to look at it from an investor's perspective and understand the likelihood that they were going to be successful and that they would have access to the money that they needed to fund their activity, whether they were going to have to go out and solicit that money from Wall Street or investors, or if they had an angel investor, or if they had the money corporately held within the company. What was the likelihood that they were going to have access to that? Would the board of directors decide 6 months from now, this isn't a game we want to be in? So we had to look at that, and we had to look at how the approach there, because this wasn't a contract, it wasn't something we could try to enforce. Ultimately, it's a partnership. We felt it was a partnership agreement, and that we wouldn't have as strong a leverage to force them to execute that we would have on a traditional FAR-based contract. So we needed to look at the likelihood that they were going to be successful from a business perspective, and that they would have access to all the resources they need. We also needed to look at it from a technical perspective. What's the likelihood that they actually have an approach that's feasible? There were a variety of technical approaches that were put into the system. We had air launch systems, we had traditional rocket systems, we had reusable rocket systems, and we had water launch systems. So we needed to look at things from a variety of perspectives on the technical side as well, to understand the feasibility of their launch concept, the feasibility of their ability to go up and rendezvous with the space station, the feasibility of their ability to handle all the cargo. Did they have a good plan? Did they know how they were going to deal with cargo on the ground before they launched it? And if they were going to bring cargo down to the ground, did they know how to deal with cargo once they got down to the ground and then they brought it down? And if it landed in the water and you got it onto a barge, would NASA be able to have access to it quick enough to be able to save our samples and our science samples? Or was it going to come down, land on a barge, and then sit there for 6 months? And that becomes less attractive. So we need to understand all those things from an end-to-end basis, not only from a design phase, but an execution phase.